Well, hello and welcome to the fourth episode of On Our Stage, a podcast about theater and the people who make it, hosted by the people who facilitate it, literally. My name is Greg, and I'm the co-owner of the StageCrafts. My wife Jen and I manage and operate small performing arts venues in Hollywood for our living. Tonight, we're sitting down with Ben Boquist and Ben Barahona Ginsberg, collectively known as the Bens. They are the creative team behind Belladonna Highway, a new supernatural noir musical. Belladonna Highway was premiered in concert at the Hobgoblin Playhouse as part of Sleuthfest last month, and it will next be performed at Parsons Nose Theater in Pasadena as part of the LA Freeway Circuit on March 21st. In Belladonna Highway, Mitch is a washed-up novelist trying to claw his way back to the New York Times bestseller list. His quest for a quiet writer's retreat leads him to the mysterious, decrepit Hotel Belladonna, a desert oasis full of secrets. Once there, his retreat is derailed by ill-fated romance, dangerous enemies, and a 100-year-old cold case that only he can solve. A love letter to California and film noir, this is a show that is perfect for anyone who likes radio drama, jazz, ghost stories, flirtatious banter, and crime fiction. Are you ready to check in? Belladonna Highway will be presented in concert on March 21st at 6 p.m. at Parsons Nose Theater in Pasadena. We hope you'll join us. Check out lafreewaycircuit.com for more information. Now, without further ado, let's meet the Bens. The world needs more cat photo bombs in live streams and podcasts. So, yeah. All right. Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the On Our Stage podcast. Well, I already said that in the introduction that I've yet to record at this point, but I will be recording shortly. But it is my great pleasure to introduce to you this evening one of LA Theater's power couples, the Bens. Sort of like the Daniels, but for musical theater in Los Angeles theater. And yeah, we love you guys. So glad to have you both on here tonight. Please take a moment and introduce yourselves real quick.
I'm Ben Boquist.
I'm Ben Barahona Ginsberg.
And we write musicals.
You do indeed. You do indeed. And we are here to talk tonight about your latest new musical, Belladonna Highway, which will be on the LA Freeway Circuit, appropriately enough, performing March 21st at Parsons Nose Theater in Pasadena, 6 p.m. curtain. Tell me a little bit about the show. Before we get into anything else, tell me a little bit about the show since we brought that up.
Yeah. The show started as a 20-minute short film script that I wrote 17 years ago, just as a 20-something. And actually, the first draft that I wrote of it, I was still living in Ohio. So it was sort of a very film noir inspired fantasy about what California must have been like in the 1920s. And it's about a novelist who solves a 100-year-old cold case in a haunted hotel somewhere in the California desert. And we just kind of dusted it off a couple months ago and plugged some songs into it and gave it some new life. And it's really exciting to see it 17 years later as this really elegant, beautiful stage show that we made together. So, yeah.
It absolutely is. It absolutely is. We had the privilege of premiering the concert version at Sleuthfest at the Hobgoblin Playhouse just last month. So, yeah, just touching on this, you listen to a lot of the Eagles to get this started here. You know, a lot of little inspiration there. Not the saying musical inspiration, but thematically at least. I mean,
yeah, I think like just the phrase "a dark desert highway" is so evocative, right? Yeah, I think when I was in Ohio as just a recent college graduate, thinking about that I wanted to move out to Los Angeles, the idea of just a tragic, ghostly hotel was very much linked to the Eagles for me. So that's maybe where the idea started. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I also just love the concept of finding a place with peace and quiet and no Wi-Fi or cell signal where you can sit and just write for a while. Like as a fellow scribe, I was like, I totally get where your main character is at right now. I just need to get away from everything. It's such
the original title was actually Hotel California. And I think, Ben was inspired by, I guess, the mythology of the California desert. So I like it because a lot of theater is not always based in California. So I think as a California native myself, I love going to shows in LA or, in Southern California that actually take place in California. Because I think growing up listening to musicals, everything was just so New York centric, and I'd never visited New York till I was 26, so it was all like a romance for me. Like, what is New York? And I my idea of it was through all the musicals that I heard of.
Might be a little different, yeah.
Yeah. So I was excited to kind of take Ben's like ready-made story, and we song spotted throughout it. That was like a great kind of brainstorming idea. And we really tried to stick with like convention musical theater craft, like song forms. And I think it's really done us some good for the show, because we set up those like parameters, and we thought, like, how can we get this character's song out in just the form that we need, and we don't have to really break the form. So that was a good challenge for us. There were some moments of like we had to like fight with the form being so limiting, but then it kind of really freed up the songs.
This is the first show that we've written together. Ben has orchestrated and arranged the music for the last two musicals that I've written. But he is so much more, I'll say, a stickler for the formal rules of the craft. Like, this song needs to be A, B, A, and this rhyme needs to fit within these syllables. Like, a lot of times when I'm writing, I'm just not as aware of those rules. I like to kind of like run really fast and put a bunch of paint on the walls and just like, and he's so much more methodical and careful than I am. And I think the result is, I mean, music that's just really thrilling and beautiful. That was really, really fun to play with. So yeah, you really pushed me to try some things musically and lyrically that I wasn't immediately convinced were good ideas, but then later bore out to be really good ideas.
I love that. That's what a good team does, is they push each other in new directions and get all kinds of surprising results. But that's the alchemy. That's what a good team does. So that's fantastic. So how did you both get started in theater originally then? What inspired you to get involved in theater? Because Ben, Mr. Boquist, I understand that you were kind of writing films in your early Ohio days, but what made you switch to the stage? And Mr. Barahona, how did you get about getting involved in the stage yourself?
Do you want to go first?
No, you go first.
Well, I kind of grew up on stage in a way. My family was kind of a traveling gospel band for about 10 years. So I was homeschooled. We lived in a big mobile home bus that had Boquist Family Ministries painted on the side.
Oh, wow.
We would sing church hymns and perform little like Bible skits with Bible costumes at churches all over America. And then around high school, I just kind of got really into, I like community theater, but I thought that like, I was also trying really hard not to be gay at the time. And I thought that if you liked theater, but you wanted to be a little bit more butch about it, going into film seemed like the next logical choice, and then I moved out here to do film school, and I was doing production design for a number of years. And I really hated doing my own taxes, which is why I didn't continue in that path. But one of my roommates at the time was an opera student at USC, and he had a keyboard in our room. And every time he was out of the room, I just gravitated towards the keyboard. And at the end of our lease, I had written a dozen or so songs that all kind of told a story. And I thought, maybe musicals are my thing. And that was 15 years ago. And I think I've written about 5 now. So
wow.
Yeah, I love it. It's just the perfect fusion of acting and writing and music and lyrics, and it's immediate, and you don't have to have a performance filtered through editing, which is one of my big frustrations with film. And AI can't ever do what theater can do. So that's kind of how I arrived here. What about you, Ben?
I started playing piano really young, like around 3 years old. And by the time I was 14, I was yanked into my high school's theater department to play piano for their musicals. So I had been doing it since 9th grade, and then 10th grade and 11th grade. I wasn't just playing at my own high school, I was playing at other high schools in Ventura County, where I grew up. Then all throughout college, I went to Cal Arts in the early aughts, or the middle aughts, actually, because I graduated in 2010 from Cal Arts. So while I was putting myself through undergrad, I was working at AMDA, the American Musical Dramatic Academy in Hollywood, playing for them. And I think my skills just got really sharp with musical theater. And I think playing, just having so many scores like in my fingers and in my brain. When it came time for me to study musical theater composition, which really wasn't until 2019 at New Musicals Inc. in North. Yeah, then I was like, all right, now I'm going to use a different part of my brain, like the writing, creating part. And I get to pair it with the part that already like really deeply understands and loves musical theater. So that was a great kind of experience with pushing myself to write music and sort of put away the playing so much of other people's music and getting to really fall in love with my own music. And then I eventually, during COVID, also studied musical theater composition at New York University, their master's program in musical theater writing. And that was just like a 2-year roller coaster. I learned so much, and it was also very daunting. I was with so many talented writers, and I really got to know what theater expects in the industry as a writer, and also the challenges we have to go through. And, you know, musicals aren't really written, they're rewritten. So you have to really go back to the drawing board, and then you got to pitch your show, and you got to do a reading and then do a workshop. So that's where we're at now. And it's really nice to get to shift gears and really, you know, in my late 30s now, get to have new goals put up and to go after. And it's so nice to have like a great writing partner to do that with. And I think writing Belladonna Highway, we found out how to unblock each other's blocks.
Yeah, that's true.
Because there were times I'd stare at a blank screen and be like, what are we going to do for this scene? And then Ben would say, well, you need to come up with a melody first. I said, well, I can't come up with a melody. I need lyrics first. And then he's like, nope, you got to do the music first. And then
there was a lot of compromising as well.
Yeah. But then I said, you know what?
Always saying the lyrics had to come first.
Yeah, we kind of we decided like what we needed to do to get it going. But in order for me to get unblocked, I needed to know what is going on with this character right now, and why do they need to sing? Like, we got to get that going. And then I also said, like, can I visualize what this character is doing? What do they look like? What are they wearing? What are their eye color? Yeah. I asked for like deep details so that my imagination could really just kind of go for it.
It's interesting like that it started as a film script, because I think his musical instincts are very cinematic. Like he asks a lot of questions that no one would ever see on stage. Like, what does the interior of this person's car look like? Things that you would only see in a close-up of a film, but somehow those kind of narrative beats inform his musical choices, which is really interesting. There were also a number of times where I had written like 2-page monologues that we were going to turn into lyrics, and then I would hear him play some melodies, and all of that went out the window, and we chased a completely different idea. So what became the kind of big love theme in the middle of this play is one such moment, and what he came up with worked so much better than what I had written. So this whole thing has kind of been an exercise in turd polishing, because I'm a much better writer now than I was in my 20s when I put together this short film script. And the reason we even started writing this is this is our plan B. So our plan A that we had started writing like in November of last year is we have been working on this musical about the Winchester Mystery House in San Jose, California.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So we traveled out there. If you're not familiar, the Winchester Mystery, Sarah Winchester is the heiress of the Winchester rifle fortune. And she built this bonkers Gilded Age mansion in San Jose that's like 4 football fields size.
Oh, it's insane. Yeah.
And there's all these legends about how she built the house for ghosts to appease like the angry spirits of the people killed by her family's guns. So we set out to write a musical about that. And I got kind of lost in the sauce of a plot that wasn't really making sense to me. And I said, Ben, we want to do something for Sleuth Fest.
Yeah.
Can we take out this other script that, I wrote almost 20 years ago, and can we make that happen? And, we were 20 pages into this other script, and Ben was like, sure. And so in about 2 weeks, we turned ship. And maybe we will eventually go back to that script, but I think right now we're both just kind of loving this world of Belladonna Highway. So
absolutely. Well, it's a lovely world that you've cultivated there. And my God, as a fellow writer, I have done that hard right turn of like, this isn't working. I'm going to flip to a whole different project right now. And that's actually how my last play, 3 Can Keep a Secret, came about. I was working hard on something else and just started writing 3 Can Keep a Secret as kind of like an exercise to clear my head. And then I was like, oh wait, I like where this is going. And suddenly it's like, it's amazing how the muses will inspire you sometime, if you just take the time to listen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we even had some things, like some themes and some kind of melodies that we had kind of been playing with for the Winchester project, got borrowed and put into this. So my original one was really just a pastiche about, silent film actors and, playing a detective around an old hotel. And now it's kind of about regret and getting older and coming to terms with loss and picking yourself up and trying again when you fail, and all those things that you kind of know more about in middle life that you don't necessarily know when you're 20.
And how to cope with early success and subsequent failure too, which,
I
that hits on a personal level for me, because I had the first play I wrote turned into kind of a hit. And I've been chasing that same success since then, and it's that I remember wrestling, not that I want to make this about me, but I'm just saying that I empathize. I understand where you're coming from, because for the longest time afterwards, I did have a lot of doubts going like, what if that was it? What if that was my best work and there's nothing left in the well? There's all kinds of doubts that I was shocked that I had to wrestle with as I was struggling with writing new material. It really is kind of like an existential thing. It's like, it's sort of like wishing you knew that these were the good old days before they passed, Yeah. Yeah. Like a little bit of that regret. So like I said, I identified very strongly with your main character and felt a lot of his internal struggle with my soul. And then there's the external struggle of, dealing with a ghost and falling in love. Well, I don't want to spoil anything. You got to come out and see the concert in Pasadena on March 21st. So to get the deal, but it's pretty hot. So now how long have you two been collaborating?
We wrote our first song together in June of 2024.
Wow. All right. So what came first, the collaboration or the relationship?
We were friends, like 9, 10, 6, 7 months before that.
We met at at Mark Taper Forum.
Okay.
Yeah. I keep calling it the wrong thing. I keep wanting to call it the Theater Makers Jamboree, but that's not what
it was. A town hall meeting for all the theater producers in all of LA to just discuss the state of LA or LA theater. And
I think I was at that one. Wasn't that the one where they lured us in with drinks and then suddenly said, "Hey, everybody go sit in the theater," and then there was all these presentations?
Yeah, yes. That's the one. Yep.
Yeah, that was a bait and switch. But
well,
hey, at least something great came out of it.
Good, and I got a boyfriend out of it. So, and
we met at the free food table because that's just what you do. You go to get free food, and Ben was like, "My name's Ben, and I write musicals." And I thought, "Wait, my name's Ben, and I also write musicals. So I guess we're both going to do that." Yeah.
So you in that moment, I love that.
Yeah. And the first song we wrote together was June of 24 about Ben breaking up with his church after discovering they had lied to his face. And I thought, we should just write a song about it and take it to Las Vegas and perform it, and that'll be we'll stick it to them that way. So that song was called Dance with the Devil. And yeah, I think we're going to record an album soon. It's on the horizon of our projects, is to kind of put a lot of our music into recorded form. So then after that, Ben wrote his musicals, Ben's Viking Trip and Sagas of Snorri, and I kind of did the arrangements for it, and I kind of added some additional music to that. Then we also wrote some Christmas songs last summer for release this past Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And then now Belladonna Highway and soon to be Winchester Mansion, the musical. And yeah, we're just going to keep going and going and going. So
yeah,
it's fun. Yeah.
I love it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We started a theater company called Dead Martian Theatricals.
Mm-hmm.
And the first season that we had, it was 2 plays about Ben's Viking Trip, which is me trying mushrooms and looking in the mirror and seeing my terrifying Viking ancestor who bullies me for a day, and then we each have our catharsis. And and then the second play we wrote was the Sagas of Snorri, which also dealt with Norse mythology. So our company's kind of inaugural season was about Norse mythology, and assuming that we finish the Winchester project this year, the second season will all be period pieces about California history.
I love that.
And ghosts.
Yeah.
So
I'm definitely detecting some themes here. You guys, you start mining in a hill, you really want to dig through it and make sure you're getting everything you can out of it, thematically speaking, at least.
Yeah, when there's a really fertile imagination space to dig in, you can get more than one musical out of it, for sure.
Yeah.
Every time I've written a musical, all my favorite songs are the ones that you end up not even being able to use, just because, musicals are such a tight little box, right? And every song has to really justify its place in a musical. And sometimes the absolutely prettiest, heartbreakingest, funniest ones don't really deserve to be there. And so it's nice to have another musical to put them in,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, maybe at one point, Jen and I have been talking about putting together, and actually we're going to have our first night of this. We're going to do a cabaret night called No Drink Minimum. And it's going to be, we're going to do a night of magic. We're going to do a night of comedy. And we were talking about doing a night sort of like a little new music or something along those lines where, we get a bunch of singers come in and do, songs from shows that for roles that they'd never get cast in, or, do some new stuff. It would be really fun to do a night of songs that didn't make the show for whatever reason.
Oh, I've done that before in New York. Songs you might have missed that end up on the cutting room floor. Yeah.
Great.
That would be fun. That would be really, really dope. So we should. I will add that to the itinerary for things for us to do. This is how we do it at StageCrafts. I don't know if you've noticed this or not, but we tend to play it a little fast and loose. And I'm like, we've got an idea. Great, it's going up Saturday.
Oh yeah, that's kind of how we work too. So it's perfect.
Yeah, works great. There's just no time to waste these days. So
the reason we wrote Belladonna was because of Sleuth Fest. If it wasn't for that dangling carrot of that deadline, this show probably wouldn't have been written, at least in the timeline that we wrote it. So thank you.
I do love a good prompt, man. And I do love, I love the fact that our mini fests are inspiring people to make stuff and do stuff, and just that low barrier for entry opportunity for people to be able to get in and just throw something at the wall, see if it sticks. It's like the Fringe, but even smaller. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, I was very proud to see how much of a success the Sagas of Snorri was last year at Mythic Fest, and then to see it on the freeway circuit in NoHo last year. And originally the plan was to bring that to Parsons Nose on the 21st, but subbing in for Belladonna actually makes a lot of sense because you have a great cast, a great crew. It's a great show. Like, I really enjoy the twists and turns and the journey that it takes you on. Again, I don't want to spoil too much. People really got to come out and experience this for themselves. But you, just to jump ahead in my questions here a little bit, you've got a real cast of heavy hitters from LA's musical theater scene here. You've got Emily Clark, Jeff Scott Carey, Aaliyah Peros, Taylor Wesselman, Nirvan Patnaik. I think I got that right.
Put Nike. Yeah.
Pat Mike, pardon me. Yeah. And Adair Tischler. How'd you manage to rally such a crew for this?
We've worked with 3 or 4 of them already on Sagas of Snorri, and some of them on Ben's Viking trip. Ben knows Adair from when he did
Tungsten
Boy of Mars.
Was a musical that I wrote in 2020.
Yes.
That was going to debut at Fringe, and then that Fringe getting canceled, of course.
Sorry, I was on the board that voted to cancel that year. Yeah, that was
that was the right choice at the time. But
it was. But let me tell you, that was a tough day.
Yeah, it was. But Adair was part of that cast. And in my play Ben's Viking trip, during my mushroom trip, my cat comes to life and kind of, she's a clairvoyant cat who can see the Viking ghost, and she kind of like helps us. So Adair played my cat Phoebe, and if you go on our Instagram, you can see pictures of her in a big cat onesie, just being absolutely precocious and adorable.
Oh, I love that. And that's the Dead Martian Theatricals Instagram.
Yep.
Yes.
Give me 1 second. I'm going to put up something that people can scan to follow you all. Hold on.
Yeah, thank you. Awesome. Oh yeah, but also joining our cast, we have we are doing some rewrites for this Parsons Nose show where we're adding another character, and that character will be played by Evan McNamara, who was also Dogs of Snorri. Yeah,
who plays Snorri himself and was also most recently Hans Gruber in A Very Die Hard Christmas.
Yes.
He was a great Hans. He was a lot of fun to work with, and I got to play his evil sidekick Carl. So yeah. No, Evan's great to work with, so that's so exciting to see him involved. Wrong hand. All right, right up here, if you want to scan that, you can follow Dead Martian Theatricals on Instagram. I haven't tested it. I hope I got it right. I'm going to test it right now while we're talking. Because why not? This is how I fly.
Yes.
You know, this is how we do it. Just wild and weird. Did I get it right?
Someone scanned the QR code.
It worked.
Yay. Thank you.
I love that. Yeah. So, yes, please scan that and follow Dead Martian Theatricals on Instagram to find out everything they got coming up. I'm going to go looking for that cat photo later because that sounds amazing. Also, any musical with cats in it, except for maybe Cats, is one that is good in my book. Do you ever watch Dimension 20 at all? Are you like a D&D guy?
I don't know what that is.
No, I don't watch.
Oh, don't worry about it. If you ever watch, they have a campaign called the Unsleeping City. Maybe like 3 people watching this might ever get the reference, but they have a bodega cat involved. It's a D&D campaign set in modern New York, and there's a bodega cat that is also a god. So yeah, I was just wondering if that was a parallel or inspiration, but no, guess not. And that's still dope. I love that. So, so you got Leah, you got Evan, and then Emily and Jeff, the 2 of them, I just feel like they've been like LA Theater royalty for years and years, you know? So
this is both of our first time working on a show with them. I've done a number of cabarets with Emily before, and I've been a fan of I saw Emily do a cabaret song called Somebody Put Acid in the Eggnog for a Christmas show. And it's this woman in a Christmas party who is tripping on acid and just having all these observations about all the, Jesus wanders in the party and has a conversation with Frosty the Snowman. And she did it all in this hilarious kind of like conversational delivery. And I was like, who is this person? I'm obsessed. And I knew then that I wanted to work with her on something. And so when we were putting together this show, we were just thinking about like, who could we get from our group of friends? And most of our cast is also from the Sagas of Snorri, and it was great to work with them again, but we knew we needed 2 new characters. And so we reached out to Jeff and Emily, and we were so thrilled that they said yes. It's just thrilling to
man, shoot your shot. It's amazing what happens when you ask, sometimes they say yes.
Yes. And Leah, I've known for 10 years since we did a production of Parade out in Thousand Oaks. And she's just such a generous and talented gem of an actress. And I think we're just so lucky that she just keeps saying yes to hang out with us. And just, yeah, the choices she was making during all the shows that we've worked on with her are just like top notch, professional, and really thoughtful additions to everything. So
yeah, and really that's true of every single person. Like, I mean, Nirvan is so generous in all of his like readings of lines, and we're gonna add some music for him because his character didn't sing in the last one. But yeah, just there's a spark that he brings to everything that he does also that just kind of makes it come a little bit more alive than it is necessarily on the page. That same thing is true with Adair. She can find comedy in lines and lyrics that weren't necessarily written in that. Like in this one, her character is very dry and she has a cigarette that she smokes. And just some of the things that she was doing with the cigarettes and some of just like the withering bitchy stares that she was doing.
Oh, so good.
I was just like, oh, it's delicious, you know? Yeah. So we're just so lucky across the board. Taylor also, man, like what a chameleon of an actor.
Yeah, because he's also a producer and a director himself. So having him last year on Sagas of Snorri, he was so generous with helping with props and helping with costumes and different ideas. And then he did the Who's Holiday, Cindy Lou Who show this past Christmas.
This is the biggest hit of Frosty Fest.
Yeah,
yeah, it was huge.
Yeah, and it's been great to have him on our reading too. The way he was doing I don't want to spoil it, but he does a great villain, and he did a great job with us.
We're being so cagey about the plot right now.
Yeah,
well, that because people got to have a reason to come, but it's an amazing noir thriller with a romantic twist, and it spans time and space. Yeah.
But overall, it's been great adding just new actors, with every show that we create, and just expanding our group of people. Yeah.
So you premiered the show, or in concert form at least, at Sleuthfest just last month at the Hub. What was the reaction like? Was it everything you expected, or were there any surprises?
It was great. I'll do the talking. You go get some water or keep talking. He's gonna go drink some water.
Yeah, water's good.
The reaction was great. We had so many supportive friends, family, and colleagues in the production or in the audience, and yeah, a lot of them really were drawn to the filmic aspect of it. They're thinking like, "Oh, I really could see this as a film, a movie musical in some form." And we got some great feedback. There were some things that we actually did need to hear about our main characters that we kind of skipped a little development that we could have spent more time on, which is actually why we're rewriting we're adding some revisions to it. Thank you. Yeah, that was the reaction. It was just very supportive, and we only had 2 rehearsals, and it was just beautiful to put all the trust in the actors.
You only had 2 rehearsals for that?
Yeah, it was Monday, Wednesday, and then we had the show.
That's sick. That's sick because it was really well done. It was really polished. The actors knew all their stuff. They had their choices. They had their intentions. The story was there. It flowed great. The pacing was great. I mean, it had polish. In 2 rehearsals, it had polish.
Stop it.
Yeah. I feel bad for anybody who missed it at Sleuthfest, but that only means that you really have to come out and see it when we do it at the Freeway Circuit, March 21st, Parsons Nose Theater, 6 p.m. curtain for this show. I'm very impressed. So I can only imagine what it would be like with more time at that point. Speaking of which, the performance on March 21st, it's the concert, which is the format that it was done in at Sleuthfest.
Yeah.
When do you think you want to put up the full production?
We were thinking of doing it for Hollywood Fringe, but that's a little too. I think our summer we do want to spend more time recording, developing, and we're shooting for like a fall production of it.
Okay.
We know
Spooky Fest is in October.
We were thinking about that.
Yes,
yeah. Exactly. So that might be the official premiere.
That'd be amazing. We'd be honored.
One nice thing about just writing within the film noir genre is that it's so reliant on narration that it's almost kind of like you're writing a radio drama musical, just because the narrator's voice is such an atmospheric feature of that kind of style.
Sure.
And so it kind of is like a movie that you make in your head. Like we have, I designed a slideshow that sort of puts you in the different locations as you're watching it. So it's a little bit more visual than just your standard staged reading.
Yeah, I'm using one of those slides right now for the background.
Oh, perfect. Oh, yeah. Exactly. But yeah, I think like
I got this one too, but there might be spoilers behind it, so I'm going to hide it.
Yeah, I think that you don't really miss a lot of, like, even in its full staging, I don't think there will actually be a lot of movement. I've got some ideas about how we can use miniatures to kind of expand the world, but I kind of want it to be very intimate and almost more of an audio drama than, I don't know. I guess we haven't even really talked about a lot of these things, but I have some ideas about how that could work.
I actually love that as a concept, the idea of doing it as a radio drama, because it really does fit that, it fits the noir theme very well. Hey, you. Jen just got home from rehearsal, so.
Hey, Jen.
Hi, Jen.
What are you rehearsing?
Our show we're bringing to New York.
Yeah,
The
meeting, which we're taking to New York. We leave March 30th.
Oh my God.
So,
Jen, I'm sitting on your couch.
the one from the Hobgoblin.
This is the reason why we know you guys.
Yeah, exactly.
This chair is the reason why so much of this has happened, which I love.
That's crazy, honestly.
Right?
Yeah.
I got that from my Buy Nothing group when we moved into the Hobgoblin.
Nice. It's my cat's favorite place to sit. So
it's really a comfy chair.
Yes.
And
we wrote some of the show on this chair too.
That makes me happy. That makes me so happy.
It's a theater magic chair. Thank you.
I love it. It's just soaked in all the theater magic from the lobby of the
old Hob. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
I know this isn't what we're talking about, but was it hard for you guys to leave that place? Did you have an emotional attachment to that space?
Yeah.
I was sad.
We both were. I love the new spot.
I
do too.
Yeah, I don't want to take anything away from the new spot on Gardner. I really do feel like it's finally the first space that I've been able to build out and trick out to my specifications and really do a lot of fun stuff with it, like have the Philips Hue lighting system in and have 7.2 surround sound and two big ass subwoofers. And here, come sit.
There's no room.
No, I'm gonna.
Our place is a disaster.
Our place is a disaster. Camera closely cropped. Here, come join. Yes, we have a co-host now.
Right.
So
awesome.
I'm gonna change our title card here. Yeah, this is how the podcast is supposed to be. It's just that we're both so damn busy. It's never. It's tough for us to get us in the same room at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
blood circulation.
No, I'm fine. Okay.
Yeah. What was I saying?
The old Hob.
Yeah, the old Hob.
We were, I think, like when we finally were fully out of there, it was sad. It's always sad moving out of any place, I think, especially after we've like
been there for
built
so long.
it. But that was always supposed to be temporary. Like it was when we got it, it was only supposed to be 6 months, and then 6 months turned into 18 months. So we were very lucky to be there as long as we were. But also, like, when we moved out, I said this, like, our first venue, Studio Stage, we were just we sort of fell into it. Like, how am I going to put it? Like, we had rented there for many years. So we had put on shows as renters for a very long time. And then we were kind of asked to take it over. So we ended up taking over that business. But we inherited it. Like, it was like already ready to go. And like so that Hobgoblin, I felt like was where we took like a next step because we had another one. We had the whole Hobgoblin name came from this abandoned theater that we got a permit from the city in 2018 to go into just for Fringe. It was on Hollywood Boulevard. It was completely abandoned for 5 years. It was horrifying. Like we walked in there and there was 4 inches of dirt on every surface and like 6,000 roaches
that were unionized. Yeah, like there were, good luck with that.
There was like a half drunk coffee cup in the seats. They literally, like, the old people just like got up and left. There was props, costumes, everything was there. There was a grand piano on stage.
There was a refrigerator there that hadn't been opened in 5 years and had been unplugged the whole time.
Horrifying.
It was
but we only had it for 18 months. 90 days.
Yeah.
We had it for 3 months.
We had a 90-day occupancy permit
for Fringe. And then we got 18 shows going in there for Fringe. And then we had to leave. So that, like, we didn't have like a huge emotional connection to that one.
No, that was just like proof of concept that we were able to pull it off. Oh, there's Ginny.
Yeah. But that other Hobgoblin, it became very homey. Like,
it broke our hearts to leave Santa Monica Boulevard.
Yeah. And it is the first one that we started really programming on our own.
Yeah.
So doing the mini festivals, that was the first time.
Yeah. And now I feel like Gardner is like home. Now, God willing, we're going to be there for at least 3 years, if not longer. So that's the goal, to stay there as long as possible, because God knows I spent enough time and blood to get that place set up. I'd hate to have to tear it down anytime soon.
It's really special what you guys have done with that. I mean, it's just such a
thank you.
From the little chandelier when you walk into all the little paintings you've
also the Buy Nothing group.
Yeah.
The chandelier.
Yeah, so join your local Buy Nothing group, folks. You get all kinds of amazing stuff in there.
Yes.
So much so you'll even start a theater.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's true.
So as we could go on all night about ourselves here, but really we want to talk about y'all and your creative process and this incredible show that we get to experience at Parsons Nose Theater, 6 p.m. March 21st. Come on out and join us. I have a QR code here to get tickets to the show. There you go.
Ooh.
Scan that for tickets.
This is very
please.
fancy.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, you haven't even seen my bag of tricks yet. Pretty good.
Well done.
Yeah. So this is the platform I used to run D&D for years. So that helps a lot. Now, what do you hope patrons are going to get out of experiencing your show? Is there like a particular feeling or message or anything that you really want them to get experiencing it?
One of my favorite pieces of feedback from the reading that we had a couple weeks ago with you guys was somebody said a fun, elegant musical, and I was like, oh, elegant, that's cool.
It's a great word for it. Yeah.
And I think as we wrote it, we listened to a lot of film noir soundtracks.
Mm-hmm.
We listened to a lot of podcasts about the rules of film noir. We watched film noir movies, and we really tried to just kind of encapsulate that style, the loneliness of it, the sparseness of it, the cynicism of it, the dry wit of it, and the kind of fascination with tragic romance, but also to inject a little bit of hope in it too. So I think philosophically it's about thinking that your best days are behind you and then finding out that there's more good days ahead. I just hope that people get lost in a fun ride for 60 minutes and have a good time. What do you think, Ben?
Yeah. My takeaway is for people to remember, don't let anyone make you a drink. Make your own
advice.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what they're slipping in there.
Yep.
And be wary of swimming pools in old hotels run by chain-smoking femme fatale women. Just be wary. That's all.
No, that's all very, very good and salient advice. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, we touched on this a little bit before, but you also did premiere the Sagas of Snorri with us last year at Mythic Fest, and it did go up, as I mentioned before, at the Freeway Circuit Stop in NoHo last September. Where's that project at right now? What are your future plans with that? Because it's a great show.
We're recording an album.
Hell yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yes. We did take, we took the show to the Viking Festival in Vista, California last September.
Amazing.
Right before, like a weekend or before the Freeway Circuit show.
Yeah, I think it was literally the weekend before.
Yeah, and that was a great invitation to like take our show about Norse mythology and bring it to a place that is celebrating the Vikings and everything Norse and Nordic, and just to be in a place where everyone could nerd out on it. I was like, oh, this musical belongs here.
Yeah.
And we had puppets and kids were enjoying it. And it's just so many different things happening at the festival, but this was something dedicated to the history that people don't necessarily know about how the Norse mythology got written down. And then we did also take it to Las Vegas for the Composer Showcase that they do every month or so out there. Produced
they did that. That's amazing.
Yeah, Keith Thompson produces it, and we've been so grateful to him. We've gotten to bring a bunch of stuff out there, and that happened in August before we did.
Before it even opened at Mythic Fest with you
before
guys.
Mythic Fest.
Oh, wow.
Like probably a couple weeks before we opened it.
Actually, it happened the week that our cast was rehearsing, so Ben and I had to miss a couple rehearsals with our cast so that we could do a show in Vegas, and then
yeah,
that was crazy.
So it's gained some momentum. We were excited to do it again for Mythic Fest, or this other Freeway Circuit in Ventura. But I think that we still are gonna. Sagas of Snorri is still on the horizon. We're having our colleague Brian Morales orchestrate a whole album for it. We're hoping to record it. I think getting quality demos is such an important thing for original musicals to do.
Yeah,
and I think as much as we have written, it's time to get it out. Because you had one up on your last episode.
We did
a great album on Spotify.
Great album.
And so I thought, you know what? Yeah, let's make that another priority for our shows. And so that takes a different energy, a different planning, and different funding to do. But I think that it's worth just pushing ourselves through the different aspects that a musical needs to happen, like on the stage, on recorded format, and we'd love to apply the shows to other festivals as well, and see what it can get. So
I think we talked at the beginning of this about just coming from the film world, because production design and storyboard art was kind of my entry point into entertainment, and I would love to see movies of all of these things get made. I would love to see a movie of the Sagas of Snorri, and I think in my mind I can see something that kind of looks like the Muppet Christmas Carol, where
I could see that. I could see that working real well, actually.
All these Norse mythology puppets, and you have a big sound stage of kind of like 10th century Iceland, and I could see all that happening, but who knows?
Yeah. That's the goal, is to just keep pushing and networking and try to secure some funding for whatever we want to end up doing. And
that's one of the beautiful parts of being able to have places to keep putting the show up, is it keeps it in the conversation, keeps it relevant, gets more people out seeing it. I mean, that's part of the reason why we love having the Freeway Circuit be a thing in LA, is that we can get stuff out to different audiences and keep the shows in the conversation. Because the number of great shows that I saw that would do 6-week runs and then just collect dust,
Oh, we've done those.
Yeah, we've done tons of them.
Yeah,
those too. Yeah, that's
it's a heartbreak,
It's to do,
So I think, if there was one thing that I learned in getting my shows published, because I've got 3 plays published with Concord, it was having a production history behind them and having a well-reviewed production history behind them that really made the biggest difference. And, you look at Super Sidekick. We actually just went down and saw Super Sidekick, my children's musical, in Hemet, California, just on Thursday. Their Tahiti's High School was doing it.
Congratulations.
It was adorable.
It was adorable. And I want to say it's like the 20-something production of the show.
Yeah.
If you look at the production history, the first 8 productions I produced, so it's like you had to just keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing
we
it.
didn't do that 8 times. I think we did it twice.
No, it was more than that.
We didn't do it 8 times.
Well, there was a ridiculous number of times we had to do it in order to get the history, though, to get it, get momentum behind it.
Yeah, like
It's
it
visible by
was
two.
really strategic about that, because we did it several times here, but then we worked with a company in New York to do it at New York. That was New York?
That was the
Fringe, right?
original New York International Fringe Festival, RIP.
So we didn't bring a cast out there. We
partnered with a company to do that show. But the year 2 years before my first play like these, we flew a cast out from LA for 10 days to do the show out there, and that also helped. So.
Yeah, it does really help to get different city reviews behind it, or even just to show that like it is viable in different cities. That really helps with publishing.
Oh, good.
Oh, that's good.
Mhm.
Yeah,
We were thinking about how do you get published, and that's really good to know.
Yeah,
That
no,
helps.
the better package you can have with great video, great album, like what you guys are doing, a great album, great video, great photos, and great reviews in different cities. That's what they want to see. They want to see, because ultimately it's about making money. So they
Yeah.
want to see that people are going to be interested in different markets to catch it. So
Great.
And it's like in our experience, I mean, it is sometimes not sometimes, always wildly expensive to, especially when you have a big cast, to bring them somewhere like New York or Edinburgh or something like that. But those are the places where, people are looking to pick up shows and give them more life. I mean, and in Edinburgh Fringe, there's a whole marketplace where you can put your show on there, and then other producers from all over the world.
yeah, producers and presenters from all over will be looking through there
Yeah.
and come and see your show and be like, would this be right for us? So
Yeah, we had a show that premiered at Studio Stage, our first venue, and then went to Edinburgh, and then and Greg did lights from this couch.
Yeah.
He got up at like 5 a.m. and was doing it on Zoom.
Yeah.
For Scotland.
Well, I programmed the show. I adapted the original light plot using my visualizer here. I built a 3D rig of their grid
It was cool.
in Scotland on my visualizer here, and pre-tested everything. And then they put me on the Zoom call to see if everything was firing correctly. And I had to trust them for the color temperature notes because I couldn't tell the color through the camera that well.
Wow.
It turned out pretty good.
And they ended up getting offered a West End run for that production. So, it is stupid expensive to bring big casts, but sometimes it's really worth it if it's gonna be the life of the show and where it's gonna go from there.
Do you think that like getting published first, for example, and then bringing it to Edinburgh makes sense? Or
I would say bring it to Edinburgh first and then get published. Because if you can get the Scotsman or if you can get one of the other big outlets to pick you up and review you, that's what you want splattered on your back cover.
Yeah.
Or on your front cover.
Because and also if you're already published, then you actually have to like pay rights on your own show to produce it somewhere.
Yeah.
So you essentially get that money back, kind of.
You get 80% of them.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of silly. So, but yeah, I mean, if you already had international reviews, that's what you put in that packet to present to different publishing companies.
Gets a lot of attention. Yeah, the bigger outlets you get. So it gets a lot of attention. When we did Friends Like These in San Diego, I spent a lot of money to bring this show down there. All right. And it was a whole clusterfuck. We lost our venue a month before the festival. I had to go and find a new venue. It was a mess.
It was horrible.
For a 4-performance run, I sold 2 tickets across all 4 performances.
Oh.
And then I comped 2 more, and those 2 more were critics. And one of them put it in a tweet and then put it in her review saying it was the best show at Fringe and no one was seeing it. And that review, I'm pretty sure helped made the publishers kind of like pick up and look at the script closely. So it was ultimately, in the end, it was worth it. Like it can look like a failure. I definitely was feeling like a complete failure when I'm like literally standing outside waiting for no audience to show up for this show.
Feeling ever, isn't it? It's
it's the worst. It's the worst. And this was 2014, and we didn't know like all the tricks that we know now to help get people.
Well, and we didn't know that Fringe.
We didn't know that Fringe, and we didn't know that market.
Fringe, but basically what happened is that we had told them it's an hour and a half. It's an hour and a half show. And they were like, yeah, no problem. Here you go.
They put us in a venue with an hour-long slot. And then when I said, I need another 30 minutes, they said, well, cut the show. And I said, well, that's not going to do.
Like 30 minutes is a lot.
Yeah.
That's a cut to your show. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not doing that. I've been transparent about what this is from the beginning. It's not my mistake.
So we ended up in this other venue. Is that the bring your own venue, or
It was a BYOV. Yeah,
Okay.
They gave it to us for free, which I was grateful for.
It was okay, and it was cool too. It was an old bread factory that had been turned into a performance space and art gallery. So it was like pretty cool. But we learned very quickly at San Diego Fringe, and this may be different now. This was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
12 years ago. It may be different now, but at the time, if you were not within the walkable like 3 blocks of this Fringe, no one would come.
We were a 5-minute drive away, and no one wanted to make the 5-minute drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, because meanwhile, we had another show we brought to that Fringe. We brought 25 plays per hour. It's literally just 25 itty bitty plays in an hour. And we had Spreckles, which was sort of the main venue. We sold it out every night, every single night. And it's just because it was like, it was an easy to market show, and it said what it was in the title, and it was central to the Fringe. So, you really have to know a little bit about where you're going. We had no idea. We figured it'd be like Hollywood Fringe, like, people will come, it's fine.
Yeah. So, but in the end, it all worked out. So
yeah,
our show, Ben's Viking Trip at last year's Hollywood Fringe, our preview night was the night that half of LA was shut down because ICE was harassing.
Oh my
God. I remember that.
There were curfews, and the 101 was barricaded in one place, and our show was supposed to open at 11 o'clock that Friday night. And I was just looking, like refreshing the news every 5 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And it was Pride, LA Pride.
And it was Pride.
And so traffic is already horrible.
Traffic's already destroyed. Yeah.
And it was 11. So like we had sold some tickets, but then, around like 7 o'clock at night, you start to get texts like, hey, so sorry. Hope it goes great. I'm so sorry. I'm not
reschedule. Yeah.
And you're like, oh.
Oh man, what venue were you guys in?
We were at the Actors Company.
Oh, okay.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, for traffic.
And you love them.
We love Lauren and crew. They're great.
They were wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're great. I was just trying to think of like where they were trying to get,
Yeah, and you're right. You're right there in WeHo, right there.
Yeah.
At park there anyway.
Yeah.
Another thing I love about your new Hobgoblin spot is that it's easy to park. Like,
oh, thank you. Thank you.
It is. That neighborhood is great.
So nice.
Among all the other renovation work that I did, I laid the tar for the parking lot myself.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish.
But we do love that.
Yeah. Well, let's see if we can get Ginny Bear on camera here.
Oh my gosh, she won't.
She probably won't. But
she's playing with a string.
Awesome. Well, hey, so the standard Hollywood follow-up question. We can go on ahead and start wrapping it up here. But the standard Hollywood follow-up question I have for y'all: what else you guys working on? I mean, we got Sagas, we got Belladonna Highway. What else? What else you got in the shoot?
We've got Christmas songs writing. Every June and July, we get asked by Brian Morales, our orchestrator buddy, to write some Christmas songs that he then orchestrates and records, and then he sells them to a library in the UK.
What?
I guess when you go shopping in London, you might hear some of the songs. Like,
yeah.
That's fun.
Could you guys, well, I don't know if you'd have the rights to actually perform them, but it'd be really fun is to do like a UK shopping center holiday song cycle.
Oh yeah.
Like Frosty Fest or something, because they're songs that we wouldn't recognize, right?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yes, you might.
That'd be so funny.
Yeah, I think
It's Christmas, isn't it? That's our number one hit.
Oh boy.
Also, you guys know the most talented singers in LA. Like,
Oh, yeah.
So lucky.
they're incredible.
Yeah. We tried to get Leah to audition for Holly in Die Hard, and unfortunately she was already booked doing Christmas caroling. But
Because she kind of looks like Bonnie Bedelia.
Yeah, but
And
also,
she's awesome.
I mean, she's got some pipes, man.
Oh, yeah, she does.
Yeah.
and she was in a production of Passion that around it was November. I think she was pretty busy.
Yeah.
That was at the Chromaloon Theater on Melrose.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're all just so great. They're incredible. So
Yeah, we're very lucky to have them.
So yeah, one of the things we're working on is our Christmas music. Another thing, a play that I've started writing is called After the Internet, and it's about a group of techno terrorists who destroy the global internet, and how the opening scene is all these newscasters predicting doom and how everything's going to be terrible because the internet has gone away. But instead, with every scene, life just keeps getting better and better. And
I kind of love this.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
and like, I don't know, Amish core, Hope core, something like that.
That sounds like
Yes.
Amish Hope Core. Absolutely.
Just
Yeah.
really wanting to play with like a futuristic sci-fi that is analog and hopeful.
It's giving Mythic Fest 2026.
Maybe.
It really
Yes,
is.
it
really
is.
I feel like you guys are gonna be like Colleen, and you're gonna be one of our resident companies premiering something new every festival.
Yeah.
But I am here for it.
The resident musical company.
A resident musical company. Yeah. We are. Oh, Jen missed the pitch. Really? No, I covered it. No.
That was my idea.
No, there's a great pitch though, because they were talking about how the best songs in the shows are the best songs are the ones that don't get into the shows.
Right.
So we're talking about
that's
doing a
good one,
night
too.
of shows that didn't make the cut.
Yeah.
Songs that didn't make the cut at no drink minimum.
Those are in all like famous musicals too.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
The cut scenes. That's awesome. Very cool.
I would love to be a part of that because I've done something similar in New York with my friend Bobby Traversa, who's sort of a walking encyclopedia about all the songs that are in and that never made it to the musicals. So
That's
think
really cool.
I would love to be a part of that if and when that comes to life.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to be kind of cycling through we want to do a no drink minimum every month. But have a cycle between comedy, magic, and music. So, I think by the end of the year we could definitely get to that, and then maybe do a night of British holiday shopping tunes.
Yes,
Tunes,
It's Christmas, isn't it?
Yeah.
Love that.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. We've got a few other things too. I have a song cycle based actually on the 12-step program, kind of something more personal. But I'm inspired by other song cycles like elegies and songs from an unmade bed. And I love that format for musical theater stage. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then Ben also has a children's book about a trash goblin in his classroom that he teaches at.
So I'm an art teacher at an elementary school, and I have all this lore about these goblins that live underneath my classroom. And so I am working on a musical web series with puppets about some kids in the class that befriend a little goblin.
How do I audition for this?
I mean, it has to
gotta
happen at the Hobgoblin, right?
Right? I know, right?
Goblin,
It's about an art teacher in his first year of teaching, and he is a good teacher, but he keeps getting feedback from his principal about how his room is just a mess and he needs to clean it up. But even when he tries to clean it up, these goblins just come up and they throw shit around.
I love that.
Yeah, so it's kind of I don't the details of the plot are being worked out, but it's going to be. Yeah, I've got a long list of just catalog of stories that I've been telling kids for years about these. And I've actually got this big trash can in my classroom, and I painted the face of a goblin on it. And it helps kids throw things away. I say feed it to the goblin.
I love that.
Yeah.
But then I had to have it repainted because it was too scary, and the little ones that actually wouldn't throw things away because they thought,
little kindergartners.
Yeah,
So we've got so many great ideas just all around us, and we just grab it. We're like, all right, let's do it. We're gonna take this idea and run with it. So
I love it. Y'all are on the right track. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. And hey, a year from now we'll be back on the pod together, and I can't wait to hear about how you've made wild success with all these things.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for providing opportunities and deadlines, and I mean honestly infrastructure to develop new work, because that's something that was so missing in the LA theater scene, is just development opportunities for new plays and new musicals especially, right?
It was one of those things where you had to know the right people or be in the right organization to even hear that there was a program.
Yeah.
And this mini fest I think is so good because outside of summertime fringe, what do? We need to keep going throughout the year. So I think your mini fests have really been such a great motivation for us.
Yeah.
Well, our pleasure.
You.
Well,
that's exactly the goal.
Yeah, that's absolutely the goal. And I am doing I want in April It's either going to be April or maybe May. But in one of these months coming back up, I want to resume doing my quarterly writing retreats. And you all got invitations to come up to the cabin up in Fraser Park and write for a long weekend if you want.
Oh my gosh, we have to do that.
Yeah, it's beautiful up there.
It's beautiful up there. And, basically it's really free form. You write all day. You could write all night if you want. But we get together, do group meals and board games. And then, it's otherwise it's free structure.
Are instruments welcome? Can people bring keyboards? Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
Good.
All right.
Cool.
Yeah.
You might be banished to the basement, but yeah.
Well, but the basement's very cozy.
Basement's nice though.
It's fully finished down there. So
Yeah.
it's really, really nice. It's its own little apartment.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time tonight. We sincerely appreciate it.
Yeah.
We're so excited. Folks, come on out. You got to come and see Belladonna Highway. March 21st, 6 p.m., Parsons Nose, LA Freeway Circuit. We got 3 other shows going up that night. Did I Just Join a Cult? We Are Traffic. And, oh my gosh.
Anytime and place.
Anytime and place. All 4 of those shows start at 3 in the afternoon. You can see one or see all. I recommend seeing them all.
Binge them.
Binge it. Imagine it's Netflix, but you're in a gorgeous church turned into a theater. It's going to be a great time.
It's actually the oldest morgue in Pasadena. Did you know that?
Ooh.
Oh, no.
It's like a church, but it was actually the original mortuary in Pasadena.
No shit.
What? So it's also haunted.
So it's also haunted, just like this musical.
I have to say, Greg, we have walked past the Parsons Nose so many times and been like, oh, wouldn't it be so nice to do a show in there? Oh, we'll never get in there. And then a couple months later, boom, here we are at the Parsons Nose.
You put it out in the universe. There you
we
go.
got you.
Yeah.
And I just, I was so happy when I texted Ben. I said, Ben, Parsons Nose, the theater that we just kind of been charmed by every time we walk by it. And so
the team over there is lovely. Hoyt's been incredibly helpful. Gary Lamb is going to become co-artistic director there in June. I forget who the name of his other prospective co-AD, and Lance, their outgoing AD. They've all been very lovely and supportive, and I'm super excited to be collaborating with them and collaborating with you guys on this. So
awesome.
Well, thank you all again. I've got some details for you. We're going to do a walkthrough on Sunday at 5:30. If you guys can make it and come and check out the space. I just got the invitation to do that this afternoon. So
I think that works. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. It's great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Awesome, gentlemen. Well, hey, thank you all again. Have a great night. And
have a good night, you guys.
All right. Onward to the next.
Yeah.
Bye.
All right. That's it for this episode of On Our Stage. Are you as hyped as we are for Belladonna Highway? Let us know in the comments below. We'd like to thank the Bens for coming onto the pod today to talk about Belladonna Highway. The concert version is absolutely fantastic, and we cannot wait to see how the show develops into a full production from here. Once again, Belladonna Highway will be presented in concert on March 21st at 6 p.m. at Parsons Nose Theater in Pasadena. Please come out and join us. Check out lafreewayscircuit.com for more information, and join us for the other 3 shows that will be presented that day as well. Anytime and Place by Azucena Flores Pizania and Josh Sweezy. We Are Traffic, written and performed by Jonathan Tipton Myers. And Did I Just Join a Cult? Written and performed by Lawrence Myers. Thanks again for joining us, friends. We'll be back later this week with a special bonus episode where we talk with Asu and Josh about their generation-spanning love story, Anytime and Place. Until then, we'll see you at the theater. Thanks, y'all.